Talk Shows family. It's Namsa here at Ngozi Talk Shows. Find your own voice, lead from within. So, guys, today's topic is breakups healing, how to move on and find peace after heartbreak. So if it is your first time here at Ngozi Talk Shows, my name is Namsa Clara Minive, and I help my audience find their own voice lead from within. It could be finding your own voice in your relationship, finding your own voice in every area of our lives. We need to have a voice, and which I didn't have a voice myself, and but I had to work hard to actually find my own voice and lead from within. So that's what we do here at Ngozi Talk Shows. So breakup are like emotional earthquakes. They rattle the very core of who you are, whether the relationship lasted for one day, whether the relationship lasted for months or for years, ending you can leave feeling shattered, lost, uncertain of what comes next. It can feel that like it can leave you feeling that your world is being stripped away. Healing isn't linear, and there is no one size fits all formula. But with time, self-reflection, and the conscious effort, it is possible to move on and find peace again. So, guys, accept that is over. Step number one, accept that is over. This is the hardest, most painful step. Truly admitting that the relationship has ended. Many people get stuck. Um, here, they cycling through denial, hope that the relationship will go back, believing they might get back together. But healing begins the moment you stop, resisting reality. Acceptance doesn't mean that you are okay with what happened. It just means you are ready to move forward, even if it hurts. Um, and also, guys, if you're watching this video, it might help as well to go and watch the yesterday video. Feeling pain without judgment, suppressing emotionally only delays healing. Whether you're crying on the kitchen floor, screaming into pillows, or sitting in a stained silence, all of it is valid. Let your emotions come out without shaming yourself for having them. Pain is natural. Is a much natural response to loss or pain. But the healing means allowing yourself to feel so that those feelings can eventually move through you. So, guys, for me, what I do is, guys, I cry through pain. Whatever pain that I go through, I cry through it. I don't know if you guys know that when you cry, God can actually quickly answer your prayers and take away that pain very, very quickly. Because when you're crying the pain, the cry, it shouldn't be what has been done to me. It shouldn't be like a pity. It should be the cry, wanting God to take away that pain, that backstabbing pain that is in your heart, that feels like the whole world has fallen apart. And if you do that, you'll feel that pain disappears because God will swap the pain. So when you are crying like a Hannah's prayer, Christians know what I'm talking about. When you are crying Hannah's prayer, you want God to actually answer your prayers, give you strength where you have no strength, to actually help you to actually find the strength. So let go of the fantasy. Often we don't just grieve the person, we grieve the potential of what could have been, the dreams, the what if, the life you imagine, the future may have been beautiful in your mind, but it wasn't real. Let it go of what you imagine future is necessary. It's grief. It is a necessary because it's grief. When you let go of what that imagined future, um, It opens doors for new dreams grounded in your present reality. And also, I know there are some people who can't be single. They like to enter one relationship and enter another one. Allow yourself to grieve, guys. When you go through breakups, allow yourself to grieve. Sometimes people blame themselves. They blame the other person and they blame themselves. You can't blame yourself. Breakup, it takes two to tango. I've seen myself how I ever had to deal with the battles of my life. I have had to take responsibilities to deal with the battles in my life, to deal with things that I was battling with in my life. But if someone didn't know the battles that I go through, I've been through, they'll be like blaming Nomsa and blaming Nomsa, or I could be blaming other people that I dated, that it is their fault that my life is like this. But I have had to take responsibility. When you are a relationship coach, you're not perfect, but you learn to take responsibilities. When you take responsibilities, it means face the truth, even when it hurts. I said to my pastor one day, we were doing a Bible study, and someone said, we were talking about a relationship. I said, there's this thing in church where when you're going through problems, people, they always say you have to be patient, you have to be this, but when the problems are real, they tell you be patient. They tell you to actually wanting to fight to get back your relationship. So I said to them, but how do you fight to get your relationship back? Because only God can actually restore that relationship. But I can only speak to God and say, God, let your will be done in my life. But I can't force. You cannot force somebody to love you. So it's important, guys, to make sure that you go through proper healing. Let go of fantasy. What could it be? Recognize the triggers. What triggers your feelings? Because there might be triggers in that life. Certain songs, scents, places, and memories can certainly bring wave of emotions instead of avoiding them completely or letting them destroy you. Take a note of them. Awareness is very, very powerful. When you know what triggers your pain, you can prepare yourself to create a distance or process it intentionally rather than be overwhelmed unexpectedly. So when you know what triggers the pain, you can prepare, you can do exercises, you can be aware of the pain. Avoid toxic positivity, like statement like everything happens for a reason, or just focus on the bright side. I can feel invalidation when you are heartbroken. You don't need to be cheerful. You need to be real. When things, guys, when a relationship ends, you need to be real. Growth will come later. Right now, it's okay to not be okay. Healing isn't about pretending to feel better. It's about creating a space for what really moving through it slowly and authentical. So it's really, really, really important. For me, when I was going through human blood sacrifice, I'm going to tell you my story. I watched people not knowing what I was going through. They were busy destroying my relationship, busy everyone, but what they didn't realize is I can hear Lucifer was bringing those conversations to me when people are saying to my spouse, leave her, she's not worth it, because they didn't know what I was going through. I was going through so much pain. Part of human blood sacrifice, when you're going through your identity, basically Lucifer blocks everything. So meaning when you fight, you've heard me saying, I've waited for my degree. I passed my degree. And he went on and gave me a fail, so I refused. And I kept writing and I kept writing. But that's how he works. So, but if someone doesn't know what you are going through, people were sabotaging my life. And then Lucifer was bringing those conversations to me. Those were the people that I thought they loved me. Those were the people that I thought they loved my children. Those were the people that I thought they were there for me. They wished me well. But it turns out they didn't wish me well. You know, when your relationship falls apart and then you realize actually people are responsible for it. I had to go through that pain of like when he comes and say my judgment to you is this, because guys, what people don't understand, when a family member sabotaging you through Satan, it means it's you. So you get to pay the sins until you repent. If you repent their sins, then Satan is gone, because in that moment it means you acknowledge the wrongs that you have done to God. So people get confused because they think, oh, if someone in my family is doing the wrongs, there are wrongs where individual has to face it on their own. But there are some wrongs when the bloodline it destroys someone in the bloodline, everybody pays the price. So I watch myself paying the price of what people have done wrong to me, having to say, God, I'm sorry for the wrong that I have done. No, it wasn't me, but it was other people. So I had to go through forgiveness. I had to go through pain. And those people didn't know that actually, whatever, they didn't know that I'm gifted. They didn't know that whatever they are doing, I get to know it. But I didn't get to tell them. So that's the most powerful, like painful and painful thing that I have had to go through. So I don't know what you have had to go through in your life in order for you to actually deal with the heartbreak. For me, I had to deal with the heartbreak, knowing that, you know what, I'm facing human blood sacrifice. But some people, Satan is going to them, controlling their mind to actually destroy my relationship. They are like, she's not good for you. She's not this, she's not that. But I had to look at myself. And I had to have this gratitude to God and say, God, I'm so grateful for the person you have created for me to become. You've created me to be who I am today. And for those reasons, God, I'm sorry for the wrongs that I have done, and give me strength to move forward. And when you acknowledge, when you say to God, give me strength to move forward, God will give you strength. So I don't know what you guys are going through. I don't know. Avoid those, like, cut off contact. At least for a while, you have to cut off contact. When you have children, it becomes hard. But for me, it was, you know, when you have God in your life, staying in touch keeps emotional wounds open. But when you have children, you have no other option. It may feel harsh to block or unfollow people, but the space isn't about the punishment, it's about the protecting without space. You can't get perspective, you can't rebuild yourself while constantly revisiting a dynamic that broke you. Distance is medicine, not cruelty. So you can allow yourself to be distant with people, and also no confrontation. Some people go to confront people. Like what Lucifer wanted for me was to confront people. That's what he wanted. He wanted me to go confront people and say, what are you doing in my life, into my life? But I had to cry out to God. I knew that I was under sacrifice, and I knew that my family were not safe. I had to pray. I understood what I was going through, and I understood what my family were going through. So in that way, I knew that was I protecting them? No, it does God's job to protect. But my job is to intercede even when I'm in pain. When I'm in pain, even if when a family member hates me, they hurt me, I have to intercede for them with God, whether I like it or not. So those were the things that I had to forgive. I had to forgive people telling my spouse she's not worth. But those problems that for me I was facing, those problems that he was facing, Lucifer entered my life. When Lucifer enters a life, he doesn't just pick one person and says, I'm going to put a stagnance in your life. My children's father was fighting the battles in his bloodline. I was fighting battles in my bloodline. So together we were fighting. He didn't know he was fighting. I knew he was fighting. I was fighting. Even still today, you don't just get out from Lucifer. He takes your soul. You only get out when you reclaim your soul. That's the number one thing that he does. He takes your soul, he puts you in prison, and what he does, now he wants you to blame. So I was the easy person that was available for people to blame me, but they didn't know that, no, there was battles that they were facing, they were fighting. So I had to actually on my knees and say, God, have mercy. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on my family. Have mercy on my children's family. Have mercy on my friends. Have mercy on those that are trying to take away my life. Because Lucifer was like, your child is going to grow up without a father. And I have a right to kill. I have a right to destroy. And I was facing that. And I had to ask for mercy, but people around me didn't know that this is what I was going through. So guys, you have to forgive even if it hurts. Find it in your heart to forgive and move on. Because if you don't move on, the pain for me is like a stabbing pain. When the stabbing pain like comes in, he will stab me. And he will come and broadcast what the messages. He will show me the messages that have been sent on the phone, because he's an imitation of God. So he can create a big picture and just with like a drawing, and you read it through. Just to cause chaos. His agenda was to cause chaos. But through that pain, I had to get down on my knees. Say, God, it hurts. Take away the pain. I'm sharing my story, guys, because it might help someone who thinks they are not good enough. But I was good enough. I was good enough as a woman to get to be who I wanted to be. I was good enough. But because when Satan has an assignment, he has an assignment and he has to fulfill that assignment. He doesn't care who is hurting in the process. Any person that is around for him to use, he will use anything, even if it's an animal, even if it's a snake, even if it's water, he will use anything. So I share this with you guys. If you're going through the breakup and you're like, no, sir, you don't understand what the investment that I've made. Guys, God can restore that investment that you've invested in, whether it's a house. You might have bought a house maybe for $500,000. You might have bought a house for 1 million. God can restore. Give you maybe a house that cost 20 million or 20 million. Give you a good husband. That is if you allow him. You allow God to enter your life and just let him do the work. So those are the things that, guys, for me, I couldn't understand it. I'll be like, I used to say things happen for a reason. Things happen for this. Things don't just happen for a reason. But for me, I had to face it. It was part of my judgment. You refused to die. So here's your punishment. Your punishment is everybody around you. He used everyone around me to destroy my life. But I'm standing today as a woman of power. I'm standing today as a woman of honor because God honored me by giving me a life. God honored my mother by giving him a life. God honored my family, my children's family, by hearing my cry and saying, Nomsa, for not wanting to fight your family. I reward you by giving your life for your family. I reward you by giving life for your children's bloodline, and Satan has no room in your bloodline. Those are the sacrifices that a human being has to make. So what sacrifice are you making yourself? Are you making excuses for people and not taking responsibilities? So you have to take responsibilities, guys. When a relationship ends, there's always something. It's either it's bloodline iniquity. You look at your family and have a look at whether, did my mother get married? Did my grandparents get married? Did my ancestors, anyone in my ancestors? It could be bloodline iniquity that comes through the blood. Bloodline iniquity is something that testifies. You know, when you go to the hospital, they put water drip, they say water, blood, whatsoever. Your blood, there are three that testifies on earth. Your spirit will testify against you if there is a bloodline iniquity. The water that you have in your body, Satan will use that to access the DNA in your bloodline of what's the history, what's the DNA. Your spirit, Satan, your spirit, I inherited the spirit of my mother. My blood, and then I inherited the blood of my father. So Lucifer, when he comes in, what he does, he just scans and takes the information in my body through my blood. What is my bloodline history? What is my father's history? Bitterness, oh, I have a legal right with your marriage. Hatred, oh, yes, I have a legal right with your marriage. What else does he use? Fornication, masturbation, pornography, thieves, everything. Bloodshed, oh, I have a legal right. He will stamp it on you, and he will use your marriage to destroy your marriage against you. While you are busy crying, it's like, oh, he has hurt me. He doesn't understand me. What? He doesn't understand me. She doesn't understand me. While you're doing that, Satan is doing the work, and he laughs. He laughs while you are doing that. He laughs. For me, it was my bloodline iniquity. My mom divorced. When my mom divorced, my father remarried. My mother remarried. My grandfather divorced on my mother's side, my grandmother. My grandfather on my mother's side, my father's side, divorced. My great grandmother, my father's grandmother, divorced. So in that line, there's a bloodline divorce. There's divorce. There's a curse of divorce that was issued in my bloodline. So I had to deal with that. But if I was stupid, I would be crying, blaming the man, blaming those who turned up to destroy my relationship. But I didn't. I had to stand and say, God, I come today. I acknowledge my sins. It's when you speak to God, it's not my mother's sins, guys. This blood that you have, it's you. Your mother's blood is your blood. It's we. There's no such thing as I. Like my sister has done this. The person that wanted to sacrifice me, they're in my bloodline. It means that I wanted to sacrifice myself when it comes to the court of judgment of God. When I go to the court of judgment of God, here comes Satan. God does not judge me, but here comes Satan when he brings the case. He says, God, I have a case against Nomsa. And God says, bring it. Bloodshed. She tried to kill her life for fame. And God cannot deny it. Because the person that wanted to take my life, some were not my bloodline, but some were my bloodline. It means I wanted to sacrifice me in the court of judgment in spirit. So in that way, if I try to get married without having to deal with that, that can hinder my marriage. So I'm trying to explain to you guys that a heartbreak, it doesn't just happen. It happened because you've met the wrong guy. That's what everybody thinks. That's what everybody says. It happens because that guy is carrying bloodline iniquity that he is not aware of. That woman is carrying bloodline iniquity. But there are ways, if you are able to deal with it, Satan cannot destroy your relationship, because Satan's job is to twist the mind, is to twist you. The good people, when you look at them, you think they are not good. That's what he does. So it's important to actually, when the relationship ends, not to say, you know what? I deal with you. You see, who does this woman think she is? Who does this man think she is? Pause. Take, breathe. Say, God, you know what? This is what is going on in my life. Show me, where does this coming from? Where does this iniquity, where does it coming from? And repent. Some of you guys, you know, last week I didn't show up on Facebook. I was repenting 3 days, asking God for mercy on behalf of my bloodline, asking for mercy. Because people believe that when you ask for mercy, when someone wrongs, like someone is holding anger in the family, or if someone is a killer in the family, and I can tell you the biggest secret in life regarding bloodline. There are people who are sorcerers, who work with Lucifer in the bloodline. And you wouldn't know until that judgment is brought forward. You wouldn't know. I got surprised myself. The people that I actually honor, I respect in my bloodline. And to realize actually they are high with Lucifer, they are high. They are priests with Satan. But you wouldn't know. If you don't know, you just say, oh, this one is my grandmother, this one is my grandfather, this one is my uncle, this one is my aunt, this one. But people, they work with Lucifer in secret. White community, white society, black community, Indian community, they work with Lucifer. In secret, people do. Celebrities, they work with Lucifer. So some marriages stand because people can put up with pain. Some people can't. So sometimes it's bloodline iniquity, or sometimes it's people just pick the wrong people. They date them for the sake of dating. So it's good to actually evaluate whoever you're dating, evaluate them. Evaluate the person you want to date and make sure that you're dating the right woman. Make sure that you're dating the right guy. And mostly those who likes the attractive guy. I'm going to tell you what Satan does, what Lucifer does. Lucifer, God will bring a guy that is ordinary, looks so ordinary. And when Lucifer says that this guy that looks so ordinary is the love of your life, is the woman or the woman that looks so ordinary, and they will bring something that is so attractive, something that you'll be like, what? Me choosing that? Let me take that one. That is so attractive. And you go for the attractive one. And if you fall. So I make some inquiries before you accept the guy or the woman in a relationship. You never ever ignore your intuition. Remember your inner man. God lives within us. Your inner man is within you, tells you what's right or what's wrong. Never ignore that. So that is important. Remove reminders temporarily. Photos, text. Um, when you're trying to forgive someone, you have to remove things that represent them. Resist the urge to stalk them online. Stay away from their social media. I know now we have this social media that has given us things that we can do things, we can stalk people, let others support you. It's tempting to isolate when you are in pain. By connecting or healing, talk to someone who can hold space without judgment or rushing you, whether it's a friend, whether it's a siblings, whether it's a therapist. Opening up, it can help you mobilizing pain, metabolizing the pain. Let people into your life. You are not a burden. You are not a bad person. And heartbreak is part of the human experience. So let you experience that. Generally, everything, how you feel. Don't compare your life with others. Never ever say other people are getting married, but I'm not getting married. Never ever compare your life with anyone. Because when you compare your life with people, that's when you destroy your life. Never ever compare your life with anyone. Let if a relationship in God is time. God is time, guys. I'm a great, great believer. I believe in God, and there's so many ways that I would have died, but God, because I believe in Him so much. I believe in God so much that I trust Him. And when I'm going through pain, He's always there to take away that pain. So whatever you're going through when it comes to relationship, when it comes to heartbreak, generally things, find that one person, man or woman, who is a champion. There are people who judge you. But it does not matter. What I say about a person, Gary, it doesn't define who they are. Gary, I've been in the spirit myself being judged. I've been put by my own family under judgment. So what else can I not conquer? I've been put by people that I have never met under judgment in spirit. Pastors have come into my life. They put me under judgment in spirit because they want the gift that I have. So if I can tell you guys, what is there that breakup? What is like the breakup is just part of life. It's part of the pain that you can actually work on it by hanging out with the right people, not the wrong people where you try to fit in, where you will try to, when you try to fit in and try to be something that you are not, guys. Don't try to do that. Let you live you. If it's breakup, it's breakup. If it's marriage, it's marriage. If it's beautiful, it's beautiful. Don't try to be something that you're not. Don't try to be something that you're not. Because where God is, He's a God of miracle. He's a God of miracle. If you believe that, you know what, you have to have the belief of healing. You have to have the belief that, God, I don't know what you are, but somehow, I know you are bigger than anything else. And if you can save people, if you can save Nomsa, I know you can save me. And He will, if you believe. if you believe. Journal everything, that pain that you're going through. Talk to it. Talk to it. Don't blame yourself. Don't make you wrong. Whatever you're feeling, whatever the pain that you are feeling, just write it down. Just write it down. I have never in my life be on depression, anxiety. I have never. And I believed in God. I think before I was born. Me and God, we had a relationship. He knew me before I was born. When I was born, he knew that this is my child. Even my behavior, when my father's behavior, how we grew up, training me as a woman, I was like, why would this man train me to fight Satan, to love unconditional? And that love is now fighting Satan. And that character that my father trained me is now fighting Satan. How did he know? Then he made me realize my father knew the battles as a woman. This is my daughter. The battles she will face. And by the time she faces those battles, I might be there or I might be gone. He was gone when I was facing those battles. Only my mom. But everything Satan now was doing, it was the relationship I had with my father. The love that my father taught me. Everything that he taught me, how to fight my own life, how to survive, how to honor myself as a woman, how to honor my husband, how to honor my children, how to love my children. So all these things, guys, when you go through heartbreak, I don't know what your childhood was like. I don't know. But mine, I come from a divorced family. My parents divorced. But the one thing that I understand is my mother and my father, they are angels of God. They carry light. They carry honor. They carry something that is unusual as parents, and that created me. So you have to look back. If you see that there was a dysfunctionally in your family, too much fights, too much this, you break that cycle. You break the cycle of hatred if there was hatred. Break the cycle of hatred. If there was a cycle of bitterness, break the cycle of bitterness. Let you get married. Because that will be the sign. If you do get to go ahead with that marriage, you could live a life, a marriage that is not blessed by God, which is has hatred in it. So it's nice to live a freedom life, a life without hatred. So journal everything. And when you journal everything, understand what happened, reflect without blaming. You're not blaming anybody. When you blame people, your ex, or you feel satisfied short term, but it blocks the real healing. Try to look for honest, what worked, what didn't, what did you learn? Take responsibilities for your part, but don't carry all the weight. Reflecting is about not punishing you. For me, I knew that going through the life that I was going through, there was no way that I could survive without God. There was no way that my life could survive without God. I had to I had to acknowledge it, and I had to be so grateful for me to know that, you know what, if it wasn't God, I would not be here. And that helps me to move forward with my life. Move forward with my life. But even though people were trying to destroy me, destroying the father of my children, because when someone tells you that your woman is not good enough, without them knowing the story, guys, I had battled so many things in my life, which the things that I could not understand. And it was then the angel of God When the father of my children wanted to leave, God said no. He took a stand on my behalf and said, no, you're not going anywhere. She will deal with what she has to deal with. I will expose the truth. She will deal with what she has to deal with. But you, those sorcerers, those witches, those aunties, those uncles who have teamed up to take her marriage, as a God of Elijah, I say no. It cannot be done. He said no. So that's my story. And God said no. But nobody knows that God said no. Nobody knows. But I had to be grateful to God. But it was through that moment that I chose God. I had to choose my life, but I chose Him. I chose God. Because when you know that someone loves you, someone stands by you, who do you choose? He chose me. He chose to save my life. So what else can I tell you guys? He chose to save my life. People are talking, but they have no idea what God is. And still they're still saying Nomsa, she's crazy. But they have no idea that God is not finished. God is somebody who doesn't just disappear without showing people the truth. My family will see the truth. They won't be able to handle it like I did. They will be the ones that will be carrying sticks wanting to kill my human blood sacrifice. So I'm sharing this story with you guys. When you say, you know what, I'm not good enough. No, relationship don't break because you're not good enough. They break because maybe you chose the wrong guy. They break because you chose the wrong woman. They break not because you're silly when you went on dates, because sometimes people are good to tell us the story. But then sometimes we can ignore the red flags. Or sometimes Satan enters. Satan is everywhere. Lucifer is everywhere. He hates marriages. He hates marriages, whether you're black, whether you're white or Indian, whatever color you might be. He hates marriages with hatred, with perfect hatred. He does not like marriages. So people may say, oh, Nomsa, not everything is Satan. Oh, yes, it is. Because we go to hell here. So when my blood, like let's say sometimes, you know, when you hear these pastors, they're testifying on YouTube what they have done. Celebrities, they're coming forward saying they've joined this. They don't just join. Every person has an assignment when they join Oakwood. It's either they are joining is to give people cancer. Some they are joining is to destroy marriages. Some they join to put people disabled, like to put people in wheelchairs. Some they join to put sickness in people so people can get on medication. So if you are that person who doesn't know the spiritual world, what happens in the spirit, if you haven't got an idea, you will spend the rest of your life blaming yourself and blaming people and saying, you know what, people don't love me, people are this, people are that. But if you understand the spiritual world, you will understand that how Satan works. And he wants to be known. He's in the days where he wants to be known. He takes marriages. His life is to take marriages. So if your marriages break, look at the bloodline circle. How is your bloodline is like? The 14, you have the people you have to look at. Don't look at the uncles, don't look at the blah, blah, blah. You look at the 14 people in your family tree that you would, if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have been born. Your mother, her mother, her father, her mother's mother, her mother's father, and your father's side as well, and you look at it the same. Those 14 people that you put together, you start looking at them. Who were they? It's like for me, it's my dad, his mother, his mother's mother. He is my daddy's father, my my granddaddy's father, my granddaddy's mother, my mother, my mother, him mother, her father, her father's father, her father's mother, my mother's mom, and her husband, and their mothers. That's what you have. They have to be 14 of them. My parents first. It's my parents. How was their life? But for me, guys, the divorce started my grandparents. My father's mother didn't divorce. My ancestors, my great grandparents, there was no divorce. But the divorce started on my grandparents. Then it came to my parents. Then it came to us children. So when you want to break that, you have to look at that and then break it. It's very, very easy. Sometimes you might have to spend hours like cleansing everything, speaking to God, what you want him to do, the sins of our parents, and all those things. Their marriages didn't work. Maybe there was hatred. Maybe when after the divorce, one of them held hatred. Satan can use that. So for me, this is what I was battling in my life. So that has been my story. But because I confess to God every single day, that was when God steps in and say, and help me out. So you guys need to deal with your own issues. I don't know what the issues that might be. So deal with, identify those patterns I've mentioned. Allow yourself to grieve the good times and the bad times. Accept this. I accept that some questions may remain unanswered. The person that when the relationship ends, guys, they can't answer some of the questions. They might have lied, why they've changed, why they have lied, why they have left. You might not even get an apology. And that's hard. But closure doesn't come from someone else. It's something that comes from that you have to find it yourself. Rebuild the narrative of what happened. As you heal, your story will shift. Once you feel like the love of your life may later feel like a chapter of growth, then your story shifts. That's not revisiting the pain, it's wisdom. Rewriting your story with compassion. It helps you, own it without letting it or defining. Reconnect with who you were before the relationship. Sometimes you might need to reconnect with that person, or sometimes you might even need to leave that person behind. For me, like rebuilding my life, it was like saying, Agari, I don't want to be that person who I was. I want my original destiny. Explore your new interests. Now it's time to try new things, painting, hiking. Prioritize your physical self-care. Is important to actually love yourself and be who you are, and live the life that God created you to be, and not blaming yourself or letting yourself go. you have to work on yourself. Truly, truly work on yourself and understand also that life is spiritual. What we bound on earth, it is bound in heaven. So when we bound things here, they are bound in heaven. And also, don't hold any grudge. Don't hold any grudge with no one, because sometimes, like I said, with bloodline iniquity, sometimes the people hurt us because something is triggering us to actually to bring that hatred to us, or sometimes is something, it could be something in the bloodline, but the character, guys, is really, really important. When you are rebuilding and rewriting your past, it's important to rewrite your past with a good character as a person. Sometimes people may try to hurt you. People may try to change your story, but you have to understand who are you becoming that moment. For me, I had to know who I was and who I want, who God created me to be. I had to be refused to be caught up in people's things that did not save me. Uh, so it's really, really, really important, your character, to work on your character. And don't change because people have hurt you and say, you know what, I'm going to go and start sleeping around with men because men have hurt me, or I'm just going to go and start sleeping around with women because women are not nice, women are this. No. We go through what we go through, that pain. We go through it because we have to go through. So when you do go through that pain, work on rebuilding your character. So those are the important things that you guys, when you go through pain, just work on your character. Work on who God wants you to be tomorrow. Because how will you respond to every pain? It is the critical component in how your tomorrow is going to be like. So work on your character and be who God wants you to be. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. It's not easy to be Nomsa, guys. I get judged. I don't know how many times I get judged, how many times the spirits will come and give me the broadcasting because they want me to get hurt. So it's not easy to become the person who you want to become. It's not easy. It comes with a prize. And that prize is you accepting who you are and unapologetic becoming that. And that is a prize that you may lose friends, that you may lose those that you love. So explore new interests, prioritize your physical self-care. And those who wants to live your life because they're judging you, give them blessings. Create a structure in your day. Without your ex, without your routine, reaffirm your self-worth daily. Rediscover the meaning of life. Channel the pain into creativity. Get creative. With God, every creativity is endless. Practice mindfulness. For me, I pray, guys. You know, I fast and pray. And I sometimes I hear people saying, no, I wouldn't be able to fast. It's because as humans, as human beings, we label ourselves. I started fasting. I did not start fasting now. When I was 9 years old, I used to fast. I used to do a dry fast for 7 days without food, sometimes no eating, no drinking. But I'll survive. So you can fast, or if you want to meditate, you can meditate the word of God. I'm talking to Christian right now. I don't know how to meditate using a non-Christian meditation, but all I know is as a child of God, you can meditate. Give yourself some quiet time, 1 hour or 20 minutes, or even 10 minutes. If you're struggling to find that 10 minutes or 20 minutes, if you get kids, start with 5 minutes and then 10 minutes, and then keep adding it. Just give yourself, have that me time. So that's important. And study your attachment style. Understand how you attach avoidantly, securely? Can you help understand the breakup? All these things. Forgive yourself for the things you didn't know. You did your best with the information and maturity you had. You weren't supposed to know everything. Self-forgiveness is the key of part of healing, not just from breakup, but from your own self-judgment. Redefine what love means to you. Heartbreak challenges everything we ought to know about love. That's not a bad thing. Use the time to explore your definition of love, a healthy, reciprocal kind, not just for future relationship, but for how you love yourself. Moving forward with the intention, reconnect with your future goals is important. Reconnect with your future goals. Make peace with what if. What if? Accept uncertainty is part of healing. The future isn't continuation of the past. It's a fresh chapter. Start your chapter by start settling small joy based on goals. Write your goals. Be the woman that God wants you to be. Be the man that God wants you to be. Consider professional help if you're stuck. Reflect on how you've grown. Guys, it's important. You may not see the day to day, but look back a month ago, 3 months ago, you're stronger than you realize. Growth is often visible. Opening to love again. Don't rush into a new relationship. Um, Take your time. Love again only when it comes from a place of holiness, not needy. Learn to enjoy your own company. Solitude can be scary. Go to movies alone. Come for yourself. Guys, when I was in South Africa, I used to, every movie when it comes out, I used to go out and watch the movie. I used to enjoy my life on my own. But then those were the things that when I started seeing myself being miserable, I was like, this is not me. And the people like, they say Nomsa she's changed. I haven't changed. This is who I used to be. When I was in Africa, I lived my life, guys. I will go out to the movies on your own. I'll take myself out to a restaurant. I'll go to wherever I go, like for a meal, I'll dress up, put my best outfit, and just go out. Just go out without without labeling why I'm going out, just looking after myself. I'll just go out and look after myself and just live that normal life that we are supposed to live, not a life where we expect a man to give us a happiness. We expect women to give us a happiness. When women don't give us a happiness, we become miserable. We start blaming the woman. We start blaming the man that, you know what, the relationship has to end because we are not compatible, you are not good enough, but because we have neglected what we are meant to be doing. We are meant to be looking after ourselves. We are meant to be going out, living a life, even when you have a husband. Go out on your own for coffee. Sit there, order whatever you like. Order fruits, order cake, order whatever drink that you like, hot chocolate, tea, exotic, non-alcoholic drink. Just sit there and just have fun. But we don't do that. We feel that funny has to come when I'm going out with my man, when I'm going out with my woman, I have to have fun, but that's not life. It's depressing. So enjoy yourself. Know the healing isn't linear. Some days you feel free. Others like you back at the square one. That's part of it. This means normal. We live in love again, including self-love. Heartbreak doesn't mean that love wasn't real. Choose the chapter with gratitude. It's important, guys, to choose your chapter with your gratitude. Eventually, you will look back with softer eyes, not because it didn't hurt, but because you grew. Then you will thank the experience, not because it was perfect, but because it shaped you. And now it's time to turn the page. Final words, guys, for you. Healing isn't about forgetting. It's about integrating every heartbreak that cracks you open. But what you do with those cracks, that's where the light comes in. You are not just recovering, you are transforming and you are keeping going. So you become who you want to become because you have chosen how you chose to respond to every situation. How you choose to respond. Some choose to respond with blame. Some choose to respond with, you know what? I want to rewrite my life. I want to rewrite my life because I don't know how my story is going to look like. You rewrite your life. You rewrite your life how you want without worrying about what people think. Some people worry too much about the world, and the world doesn't care. And I'm sorry to say this, guys. When I come on gossip talk shows, my audience don't care about what I'm going through. They only care about me adding value to them. That's what they care about. They might seem to care, but the day I fall apart is the day they move on to somebody else. So it's important how you respond when you have problems. It's how your tomorrow is going to look like. And don't even think that your aunties, your uncles, your siblings, they can like get you out of pain. They can't. Mothers, they can't. Only you who can get you out of pain. Only you. And by wanting to get out of it. So guys, if you're watching the talk show from YouTube, please do subscribe to our channel. On Facebook, we have two groups, Unique Billionaire Mindset and Gossip Talk Shows. Please do subscribe to our channel. Twitter, subscribe to our channel. And what else? Go to the website. If you need coaching, guys, there's lots of coaches who I well experienced. I myself am experienced coach. I deal with a relationship coach and I help my clients. If you don't have a voice, you want to find your own voice. You want to be a leader in every area of my life. I've done it. Myself, I have battled Lucifer, so there is nothing that I can fear about. There is nothing that fears me. I'm a relationship coach who has battled so many things. If you are a Christian, you will relate to me. So I have battled so many things. I've battled the gods of Korean dragons, but I survived them. And I don't feel sorry for myself. One thing that my spiritual fathers have taught me and mothers is not to feel sorry for myself. To fight the battles, even on my last breath. Fight the battles. And that's what, when you come for coaching, I won't coach you based on what I've been through. I listen to your story. Maybe you might not even have to pay me money. There are some people who come, they want me to, they're like, okay, Nomsa, how much are you gonna charge me? I tell them how much I charge, and then we go and Zoom. And they find that they actually don't have problems, it's in the head. And they're like, I've never think that way. I've never thought of that way. I've never seen life that way. I'm like, this is what life is. Then they go off. You see them a few months later, they're different. Because it's just everything is just the mind. The mind has to shift. Once the mind shifts, everything else falls into places. Because once your mind shifts, you're able to put everything, the puzzles together of life. You're able to fight the battles. You're able to become the woman that God has created you to be. And this is what I coach. I coach my clients to become who God has created them to be, not what is expected by their families, not what is expected by their friends. My friends might have expectations, but I'm not that, what they expect me to be. My family might have expectations, but I'm not what they expect me to be. People in the community might have expectations. I'm not what they expect me to be. When I go to church, my church people might expect me to be who they expect me to be, but I'm not what they expect me to be. It's only God who writes my destiny and the angels of God, not anybody else, not even Nomsa. So if you are that person, you struggled and you want to take your life to the next level, come to Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency. We'll help you we'll help you to get to where you need to be. I will help you by coaching you. Sometimes I might tell you some harsh words that you may not like, but that's what the coaching is about. You becoming you. And people saying, you know what? I don't understand you. When people start saying they don't understand you, it means you're doing the work. God bless you guys. Live with grace. And I shall see you. I'm a popping Saturday, Sunday with my dance. Who knows? Yeah, I see you Saturday. I see you Sunday when I'm dancing, when I'm posting my dance video. I love to dance, by the way. So, yeah. And it gives me joy. When I'm in pain, I dance. When everyone else tells me that I'm not good enough, I tell myself that I am good enough for me. I accept me for me. I don't want to be somebody else. So God bless you guys and live with grace.